Each year, the WTA is bound to have a few young breakout stars that announce their names on the biggest stages on tour. 2023 will surely be no different, as we have a boatload of rising talent who are eager to make their mark on the circuit. I'm going to be highlighting 10 players under 23 who I believe will do just this. The players included haven't yet broken through and achieved mainstream success at big events, which is why the likes of Leylah Fernandez and Amanda Anisimova, for example, won't be included. Starting us off at number 10 is 21-year-old American Elizabeth Manlik. Elizabeth is actually the daughter of a Hall of Famer and four-time slam singles champion Hana Malikova. She rapidly rose through the ranks in 2022, claiming a few ITFs, which catapulted her from 491 to inside the top 130. I first heard about and saw Manlik in San Jose, where she claimed her first WTA Tour win and very nearly upset Paula Badosa. She really should have won that match as she was up 5-3, but her serve broke down towards the end, which could be a possible weakness for her. Manlik herself says that she likes to hit through her ball flat on both sides, and her forehand to me is a big weapon out there. Elizabeth managed to win her first slam match at the US Open, and while she didn't do much since then, I feel like the more experience she has on tour, the better, and that will ultimately help her rise even more in the rankings. Next is 18-year-old Czech Linda Noskova. Noskova had early success as a junior as she won the girls French Open singles event in 2021. She also qualified for the women's main draw the following year, which is where I first saw her play. Here she nearly beat Emma Raducanu in the first round, but I was incredibly impressed by her ball striking ability. For the first half of the match, she looked like the Grand Slam champion, overpowering and thoroughly outplaying the Brit. She continued her progress for the remainder of that season though, making her first WTA semifinal in Prague, where she claimed her first top 50 win over Alizé Cornet. She also had a very big win, although on the double circuit at the US Open in the first round, where she and Lucy Hrdlicka teamed up to upset Venus and Serena in the first round on Arthur Ashe. So I think playing on that big stage against her idol will do great wonders for her also in 2023. Now, speaking of 2023, Linda's already had a very strong start to the year, as she just claimed her first top 10 victory actually yesterday, taking out Daria Kasatkina in the first round of Adelaide. This will definitely give her a lot of confidence for the remainder of the season even more. Linda is an extremely talented ball striker, as I said earlier, and she has very strong angles, which help open up the court for her as well. Her main weakness is probably her serve, as it's very attackable, but aside from that, her ceiling is very high. The 18-year-old Czech is also free to play as many tournaments as she desires, as she's now aged out of the stringent WTA age eligibility rules. 21-year-old American Caty McNally is also poised for her best season yet in 2023. Like the last few players on this list, Caty McNally experienced a lot of success on the junior circuit, reaching the girls Roland Garros final in 2018 while winning 2 slam doubles titles in juniors that same year. Caty first showed signs of her large potential when she took a set off Serena Williams at the 2019 US Open. McNally has somewhat of an unorthodox game style, especially on the women's tour. She has a serve and volley type game and isn't afraid of coming into the net at all, using slices and dices and all types of different shots. She's an excellent doubles player too, making 2 slam finals on the big circuits, but she struggled for a while in singles to win matches. I think she's finally coming into her own and had a fantastic fall season where she made the Ostrava quarterfinals before winning a 125 event. This consistent success has brought her to a career high ranking of number 93 in the world, and I feel like she finally has the confidence from those wins late last season to do some damage in singles in 2023. Next, 21-year-old Chinese woman Zhengyu Wang looks to make that long-awaited breakthrough this season. I first heard about Wang in 2019 actually, where she took a set from Maria Sharapova in Shenzhen before being forced to retire from that match due to cramps. Zhengyu's powerful game impressed the 5-time major champion, who said the then 17-year-old has all the tools to be a champion herself. Wang made a bit more noise in the fall of 2021 when she took out Emma Raducanu in Linz, once more showcasing her big and versatile game. Wang was unable to build upon this in the early stages of 2022, but she did perform well in the fall, consistently going deep in ITFs, even winning one. I think she's just liking the confidence from having that big standout victory, which I definitely believe can happen in 2023. The youngest player on this list is 17-year-old Czech Linda Fruhvirtova. Linda first got on a lot of people's radars after she took out Victoria Azarenka and Elise Mertens to make the Miami Open round of 16 early last year. The Czech reached more milestones later that year, qualifying for the US Open where she won her first main draw slam match. Weeks later, she became the first WTA player born in 2005 to enter the top 100 after claiming her first tour title in Chennai. Looking at Linda's play, she's truly fearless, really taking the ball early and going after her ground strokes. Her return of serve is more of her strong suit in my opinion, and she's also a great competitor out there, not being afraid to be vocal and let opponents know that she's not going to quit. Linda's had a lot of tennis playing experience even at her young age, playing a lot of junior events, and plus she's trained at Patrick Mouratoglou's academy since a very young age. Fruhvirtova's success can be attributed to her grinding it out on the ITF circuit, but it seems like she's ready to consistently make her mark on the main stages and challenge for more tour titles. 22-year-old American Alicia Parks hopes to use her strengthened faith and form for a phenomenal 2023 showing. I've been following Alicia the last few seasons as she's grinded through the lower ranks on the tour, making a few main draw appearances here and there. She really began making some noise last season in the indoor swing when she got her first 2 top 20 wins, beating Karolina Pliskova and Maria Sakkari back-to-back in Ostrava to make the quarterfinals there. She also won her first WTA doubles title there, partnering with Caty McNally, who's also on this list. She continued that great run of form to close out the season, winning back-to-back 125 titles in Andorra and Angers. Parks subsequently shot up to her career-high ranking of number 75, but unfortunately her ascent came too late for her to gain direct entry into the Australian Open main draw. Still, Parks, who just turned 22 on New Year's Eve, has big goals for 2023, one of them being able to crack the top 10. Alicia hopes to avoid the qualies as much as possible too, saying, quote, "When I'm well rested, that's when it's hard to stop me." Parks has a huge game, with her biggest weapon being her serve by far. She actually matches Venus Williams with the fastest US Open serve in history at 129 miles per hour, which she notched back in 2021. Now, unlike many players on this list, Alicia skipped the junior circuit and focused on training for the pros. This is perhaps why it's taken her a bit longer for her to hit her stride, but from what I've seen in that winter indoor run, the best is surely yet to come for Alicia. 21-year-old Italian Elisabetta Cocciaretto is primed to break even more ground this season. Elisabetta made her main draw slam debut at the 2020 Australian Open and began making her rise on the tour a little bit thereafter, and was on the cusp of cracking the top 100 in 2021. Unfortunately, the Italian woman needed surgery midway through the 2021 season, which sent her outside the top 200. Cocciaretto came back with a vengeance in 2022, winning a couple of ITFs, which got her back competing on the higher levels more consistently. Clay is definitely her best surface, but she's done well recently on the hard courts as well, as she won the Tampico 125 in October, beating Maria Boskova in the process. Elisabetta takes the ball early, and she's not afraid to come into the net when she has the opportunity. She is very consistent from the ground, which can make her tough out on the clay, but she can't really hurt opponents from her ground strokes as she lacks the power and placement and ability to spread the court, to be honest. Regardless, I definitely see Elisabetta doing some damage during the clay swing, and I wouldn't be surprised if she went on a Martina Trevisan-like run at a big tournament like Roland Garros. Another 22-year-old American, Claire Liu, has seemingly come into her own and looks to continue achieving new career highs in 2023. Claire started 2022 ranked 94, and she's currently at 59, on the verge of cracking the top 50. Despite being so young, Claire's been playing pro tennis for a long time, as she made her Grand Slam debut back in 2017. That same year, she won the girls Wimbledon title. Liu has been making a slow but steady rise on the WTA Tour and really made her mark last year when she made her first tour final in Rabat, finishing runner-up to Trevisan. Overall, Liu has done a great job of giving herself more opportunities to gain ranking points as she's racked up more and more WTA main draw wins. Liu made her mark in the latter part of the 2022 season as she got her first top 30 win over Alison Riske at Tokyo en route to reaching the quarterfinals. She did one better, upsetting world number 2 Ons Jabeur in her home country in Tunisia before finishing in the semifinals. I first really got a good look at Claire's potential when she played Coco Gauff at Indian Wells last year. She's a good all-around player, and she's solid from the baseline and constructs points very well. She can challenge and beat a lot of top players if they're off, like we saw with Jabeur. Claire has had solid results on every surface too, so she has the potential to do well with throughout the entire season. 21-year-old Chinese player Qiyu Wang aims to garner even more big scalps throughout this upcoming season. Qiyu earned her first WTA main draw win back in 2017, but really didn't start making big strides on the tour until 2022, where she earned her first main draw slam victory at the Australian Open. I think the big turning point though was at Charleston, when she nearly upset the eventual champion Belinda Bencic in the opening round. After that, she had some strong results, going deep in ITFs and reaching a 125 final in Valencia. The summer was big for Qiyu, as she first reached the City Open semifinals as a lucky loser, crushing Azarenka along the way. She later picked up the biggest win of her career after upsetting third seed Maria Sakkari at the US Open. Wang ended her season with another 250 semifinal appearance in Transylvania, which helped her finish the year right at 50. Qiyu just has a lot of stuff going for her. She's a great mover, and of course she has that strong lefty serve that she can back up with her strong penetrating forehand. I think she now has the confidence from those strong results late last season to win a title and perhaps more. Now, before I reveal the final player on this list, I did want to briefly mention some younger players who I feel could also make their mark but on the lower ranks. First is Alexandra Ayala, who won the 2022 US Open Girls title. The 17-year-old lefty is a trailblazer in her own right, becoming the first player from the Philippines to win a Junior Slam title and the first to win a WTA singles match. Brenda Fruhvirtova, Linda's little sister, is the youngest WTA player inside the top 200 at 15 years old, which is mainly due to her success on the ITF circuit. Definitely look for her to make similar splashes on the tour in 2023, like her big sister did in recent years. Then there's Sara Bechlek, who's the second youngest player inside the top 200. Bechlek was the youngest player in last year's US Open main draw and is especially strong on the clay. Then there's 20-year-old Clara Tauson, who has had some success on the tour, winning 2 titles, which helped her crack the top 50 in 2021. However, persistent injuries have plagued the young Dane, as she's currently out of the upcoming Australian Open due to a foot injury. This is the main reason why I didn't include her in this list, as you just don't know which injury lurks next for the talented 20-year-old. Lastly, at number 1 is none other than China's number 1 female player, Qinwen Zheng, who is expected to have a major breakthrough this upcoming season. Qinwen is the most accomplished player on this list and really landed on my radar after her solid run in the Melbourne lead-up tournament. She picked up some solid wins in 2022 and was the only woman to claim a set from Iga Swiatek at the 2022 Roland Garros Championships. After a few solid runs, including a quarters appearance in Toronto, Zheng had her best career result in Tokyo, where she made her first tour final, finishing runner-up. Zheng practically has all the shots with a particularly strong serve and forehand. She's also someone who can have strong results on just about any surface. I saw Qinwen play a bit live at last year's US Open, and that's where I honestly thought that she would go on a big slam run there, and she's on the cusp of having that big slam run, but I think most of her issues are mental and just having that belief that she can go deep and claim big titles herself. I think she's just one big win away or big result away for it all clicking for her. She has the potential to go deep and even win a slam title, as I mentioned earlier, but it's mostly between the ears at this point. That's all I have for y'all, and let me know which players you believe will have the biggest breakthroughs this season in the comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post my top rising ATP players to watch in 2023 video as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.